Hi there, my name is Eli and welcome back to my channel, Jack Elijah. And in today's video, we are going to be looking at the new Monster High Skullector 2-pack. This one features Jack Skellington and Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. And I am so excited that I got my hands on these dolls, which that in and of itself is like quite the conversation we need to have. Because if you are a fan and you were there for release day for this 2-pack, you know, a lot of people did not get them, and it was a bloodbath, and tears were shed. It was, yeah, it was a lot. And how do I say this? I don't know. I got two. I got one, and then here's what it looks like, when you take the sheath out. Here's the second one. I got two. And I put my boyfriend up to the task to help me at this release, and I got one, and he managed to get one. So now I have two. One I will unbox, the second I will keep in box. But I'm not saying this because I'm coming here to be like, haha, I got the dolls, you didn't, you suck, no, this is not what this is about. I'm sad that my fellow collectors and people in my doll collecting community did not get these dolls. And I acknowledge that the resellers and the bots are, annoying, frustrating, stupid, like, they suck. They suck. But I also want to acknowledge that it is possible to get these dolls as a collector. And I want to share some tips real quick before we take a look at these dolls out of box, because, I've been in the collecting sphere for a long time. It's only recently, in the past like year and a half, 2 years, that I started collecting fashion dolls, like Playline fashion dolls. Before that, I was collecting Disney pins, Funko Pops, Pokemon cards. Like, I've been around the collecting sphere, and you have to be savvy and quick and know how to check out fast if you want to get things like this. So there's a lot of people in the community who aren't resellers, who aren't bots like myself, who have these tips and tricks and are able to check out fast. And there is a little bit of finesse and skill to it, right? So I'm going to share some of my tips real quick. Number one is when the item goes live. So whether that's 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 12 p.m., whatever time the item goes live in your time zone, and you go to the site and you refresh at 12 p.m. You're like, it's 12 p.m. on the dot. I refreshed and I can't add it to my cart. You have to keep refreshing. So sometimes it actually doesn't go live in the store until like 10, 15, 20 seconds, when the time drops. So yeah, keep refreshing. The item will eventually pop up. I have seen people comment, I was there at 12 p.m. and I refreshed and it was already sold out. No, the item just has not fully updated. The listing was not fully updated. You gotta wait a little bit, okay? And sometimes when you go to check out, it'll either say add to cart or it will say pre-order. Sometimes if the item is not ready to ship, it will say pre-order. That is okay. You will get the item eventually. They give you a shipping window. So that happens sometimes, just fair warning. And then number two is I would not recommend entering your information, your payment information, and your address information manually. It is going to take you a lot longer versus people like me who use third-party vendors. I, for instance, use ShopPay, which is just like a third-party vendor where you can enter in your address information, your billing information, and it lets you check out a lot faster. It expedites the checkout process. Now, not every website lets you use certain third-party vendors, right? I know, for instance, Mattel Creations does, but there's sometimes you'll go to like a release and they make you enter in your information manually. That's just some places do that. I think Funko does that. But hey, Mattel Creations does. Now, a lot of people know that. You're like, okay, Eli, everyone knows that, duh. But what I do differently is I will add a random item on the website to my cart. So I'll go on Mattel Creations, add like a t-shirt or a poster to my cart. Then, like 10 minutes before the drop, I will hit checkout, hit shop pay, make sure that the checkout window pops up. All of my information is in there as it should be. And I'll be at that window where you hit complete purchase and you're like, boom, good, I got the item. But this is just a test. I don't hit complete purchase. I will take that item out of my cart about like 2 minutes before the drop. So 11:58, boom, take the item out of my cart. Remove the t-shirt, remove the poster, whatever it is. That way, your browser has your checkout information in there and it's like active and it's updated and it's ready to go. And for me, I feel like that helps the checkout process go a lot faster. So that way, when 12 o'clock hits, I go add to my cart, click the little CAPTCHA image, hit checkout, it works a lot faster, okay? And these little tips and tricks are what people like me and other collectors are doing to get these dolls, because I want to get these dolls. I don't want to miss out. I don't want to pay extra money. So I'm going to do what I can to make sure that I get my dolls, right? And hey, my boyfriend got them and he's never even purchased on Mattel Creations. I don't know what he did to get them. I was astounded. I was like, you got these dolls? Because I was so happy that I got it. And he's like, I also got one. I'm like, you also got one? Like, okay, I guess I have two now. So it is possible. It is possible. Just do not be defeated. I know it's so easy after a release to be upset, right? Because you want something so bad and it feels like life ending if you don't get it. And I'm not denying those feelings, right? You're allowed to feel like that. It's very frustrating and it's very upsetting, especially when you see afterwards pictures of people who got like 50 of the dolls to resell. Like, that feels terrible. But there are things you can do. So maybe for a next release that you really want, whether it's Mattel Creations or not, try some of these tips, see if they help you out or not. But just don't give up hope. You get better the more you're in a collecting community. I've been collecting for like 5+ years now, so I'm quick with it, right? But you get better the longer you're in these communities. So this was just a very intense drop. The Nightmare Before Christmas fan base is wild, let alone the Monster High fan base. So it was a tough one. But now we'll take a look at these dolls outside of the box. I'm sorry for the long intro. I just wanted to share some of my insight because I don't want to come on here and be like, I got the dolls, nana nana boo boo, like, sucks for you. Like, no, like, I'm sorry people struggled. Like, I don't want to see my fellow collectors struggle. I want to help you all out if I can in any way. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Okay, but now we can take a look at the dolls, see what Jack and Sally look like out of box. I'm very excited about them. And it is quite the shame that these dolls and the release of these dolls have been overshadowed by the terrible release. I hate that. Mattel Creations, please make more. Just make more. People will buy them. Please, if you want to make money, you want to be rich, just make more. It's that simple. But okay, now I'll unbox them finally. Okay, I just want to show off the box before we unbox them, because the packaging is gorgeous for these dolls, which, I mean, it better be for $90, right? So this is the front. It has a picture, a photograph of Jack and Sally, and they are glossy, and they also have some texture to them, as you can see. And it says Disney Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, from the makers of Monster High Skullector. I am not a Skullector, like, completionist. I like them, but they're not like my favorite thing Monster High does, even though I do think they are some of the more popular offerings. There you go. There's a little read-up. It says, Jack, Heart, Sally, True Love Never Dies. Debuting in the fan-favorite film Disney Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, Pumpkin King, Jack Skellington, and Dreamer, Sally, embark on a wild misadventure that captures the spirit of Halloween, Christmas, and true love. True love is questionable. Other than like the last 5 minutes, it's no love story. It really isn't. Like, Jack did not give a damn about Sally being captured by Dr. Finkelstein. He was like, Sally, can you make me a Santa Claus outfit? Like, he did not care. Okay, but oh, whatever. That's revisionist history, if you ask me. And then, I'm not done. Okay, this collector doll pack celebrates the moment that Jack and Sally realize they're meant to be together forever. Dressed in a bespoke suit with a frightening skeleton print, Jack is ready for a haunting night with Sally, who is dressed in a creep-tastic off-shoulder dress with a petrifying patchwork print. That's a lot of, like, alliteration right there. This delightful collector, oh my god, I got it wrong. This defrightful collector item captures the nightmarish fun that awaits every night in Halloween Town. Wow, that was a mouthful. Okay, but I did want to show. Here's what the box looks like. And then you can take off the little sheath, like this little, oops, I'm dropping them. This little thing, right? It slides off. And then once you slide it off, you have the dolls. Ta-da! Yay, gorgeous. They look so good. And I think they would look great to display like this. But then I would get frustrated displaying them out of box like this, because you're like, okay, they're on my shelf. Boom, they look stunning and gorgeous. The little metallic foiling is gorgeous. More photography. Oh, love it. But then it's like, okay, imagine this on a shelf. What do you do with this? What do you do with this? Where do you put this? Where do you put this? So you're almost like forced to display it with this on. It's a whole thing. It's a whole conundrum. But I will say, I prefer this style of Skullector box compared to previous Skullectors. Like, the only one I have to show you is Elvira, who I've unboxed. But you see how Elvira's face just looks wrong, right? Because these flaps do not have a closure. You see that? They just pop like that. They need a Velcro or a magnetic closure, and these boxes would have been perfect. But as they are, they just like pop up like this, and then it's like really awkward to even open them, display them. Like these boxes sucked in my opinion. So I'm glad they're trying something new. I don't think Jack and Sally are perfect, right? They're not perfect, but I think they're a lot better than previous Skullector boxes. So that's what I wanted to share with y'all. And now I'll unbox one of them. I'm gonna pick whichever face I like better and then keep the uglier one in box because that's what I want to do. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, here is Sally number 1's face. The stitching has a slightly high placement, as you can see. I think that one has a higher stitching placement versus Sally number 2. That stitching looks a little bit better, right? I think I want this one out of the box just because I think, I don't know. Do I keep the bad one or the good one in box? That's a hard decision. I don't know. Okay, for instance, let's show the quote-unquote bad one. See, the stitching's just a little higher. I think I'll take this one out of box. Yeah, I'm gonna take this one out of box. I was wrong, I lied. I'm switching it up because the stitching's a little off. Okay, yes, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I have Jack and Sally now unboxed. They're pretty easy to unbox. The process was pretty simple. And you might notice I have Jack on a different stand. He does come with a stand. It is very tall, as you can see, but the waist clip is very teensy tiny. And I know he has this like piece of plastic underneath his suit that is giving him a lot of structure and shape, which makes putting the stand on a little difficult. So for the meantime, I'm just gonna use this like stand I got off Amazon. And then once I take that piece of plastic out, I'll transfer him back over to the stand. But I do love that they come with doll stands. And it makes me sad because I feel like Playline should come with them. Like G3 definitely needs doll stands. We only got it with the Collector Fancy Laguna, but I wish that was a norm. I'm really sad still that we've gotten rid of them. But it's still nice that we get them for Skullector. I mean, for $90, we better be getting some doll stands, right? That's kind of the bare minimum. And we also have a COA, a Certificate of Authenticity with silver metallic foiling. It's not like a numbered edition, so we don't know how many of these were made. It just has the designer's name, Rebecca Shipman, and silver foil. Pretty cool, but, you know, it's whatever. And then we'll start off with Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King himself. He is super tall. I love the height this doll has. And, I mean, his head is just a skeleton head. It's signature Jack Skellington. I really like it. It's very charming. I think it's so cool that we have a Jack Skellington Monster High doll. Like, I love Jack Skellington. Such an iconic character. And yeah, his bow tie is weirdly lacking paint detail. Like, he needs some paint detail there. It's kind of an iconic part of his outfit. So I'm a little disappointed they didn't give it to us. And then he has a reinterpretation of his pinstripe suit, except this time it has a little skull motif all throughout. It is not a skelet motif, rather just a little skull, which I think is really cute. I'm glad, you know, it's not just a one-for-one recreation. Speaking of, the suit also has a black and orange striped vest. I do like that they're not complete solid stripes, as you can see. That fits in style with the film's like art direction. I like that. And I do know, I haven't taken this off yet, but I do know that this is all one piece, the pants and the vest portion. I know the jacket's separate and it's like a little vest. It's kind of what they did for the Holiday Deuce. You know, they kind of duped us a little bit, but this is all one piece. But the vest right here kind of like comes off a little bit to kind of create that illusion that it's a separate piece, which I know I've seen a lot of people express frustration that it's all one piece, which I agree. You know, it's a little annoying. It's like, why couldn't it be separate pieces? But I'm just going to give the designers the benefit of the doubt, and they probably did it for a reason. And my theory is probably Jack Skellington's skeleton body is probably really hard to design for and make clothes for because of the body mold. So if they probably tested out separate pants and vest, the pants probably just had hard time staying on. That's truthfully my theory. Like, they probably just weren't staying upright. So logistically, I'm just spitballing here. I can see them having to make it one piece for the doll to like work out, but I could be wrong. I don't like to assume that designers are just stupid and lazy. You know, I like to assume that they're smart and good at their job and probably doing what they need to do to give us a good end product. So I'm going to err on the side of that, you know? And then here are the shoes. We saw this in the first teaser. Super cool shoes. The heels are the spiral heel. I even like the little spiral they did on, like, I don't know what you call that on the shoe. Like, it's kind of what you can use to grab that helps you put your shoe on. But super cool design. No paint detail, but they're still very, very cool. And then Jack is a boy doll, you know, so he has ankle articulation. I don't love ankle articulation, but I think they have to give it to us so we have enough points of articulation that we can call this a doll officially, technically, legally. And yeah, I think he's really cool. I'm excited to see what his body mold looks like. His limbs feel really fragile. Like, I'm a little scared to bend him and play with him, but I think he's a really cool doll. And I saw on the new G3 animated show, there was like a pumpkin head looking character. And it just feels so out of touch with like Monster High that we know, but I loved the design. And now after seeing this Jack Skellington Monster High doll, I really want them to make that character into a real life doll. I don't know, it just seems really fun. I would be okay with some students of Monster High feeling a little bit more kooky and within this art style. You know, they don't all need to be so humanoid with long hair. You know, I kind of like the fun little designs like this, so I really like him. And then moving on to Sally. Okay, as much as I love Jack, I do think Sally steals the show a little bit. She's so pretty. I love the shade of red that they chose for her hair. It's like red orange. It's so pretty. It is like multi-tonal. It does look like there's a couple shades that she's rocking to add some dimension. It doesn't show that off on camera as well, but in person it does look like it's maybe 2 different shades of like this orangey red color. Super soft out of box. I'm probably still gonna wash mine just because I like to wash my dolls. But her little headband is held in with some T-ties. You can see there's one there. I don't know what that T-tie is. That also holding in the headband? Why is there so many? Okay, that's weird. But looks like there's 3 holding her headband in. And her headband has like a black bow. Some of this, is this like a thistle? What is that? Like deadly nightshade? I don't know what that is called technically. But it's really nice. No paint detail, but I still think it looks really good. And then Sally's face gets washed out, so I'm so sorry. But oh my god, I think her face is stunning. I'm gonna turn the light off just momentarily to see if that helps her. Yeah, we can kind of look at her face a little better. Oh, she's taking it. She's stunning. Yeah, look at this is the one I unboxed, and the scars, the stitching is like a little bit misprinted. Doesn't really bug me. Love the way they did her eyelashes. I think she's always had such cool eyelashes. And the animatronic in the Haunted Mansion Holiday, when she blinks, it's so cute. So she normally also doesn't come with brows, but they gave her some brows. I'm cool with it. Oh my god, yeah. I love her face. The style of eyes is so cool. I would love to see this again. It's kind of like Scara, you know, except it has a pupil. And then her earrings are the little like drop earrings with the cat head on them. The cat is really popular in her merchandising, but I feel like it has little to do with like her actual plot. They just kind of gave her a cat sidekick in her merchandising, kind of like how Jack has Zero. And then for her dress, we have her classic patchwork. This little belt is very similar to Jack's vest, so it's kind of tying back into Jack. And then the fabrics actually above and below the belt are different. So you can see it's this very shiny satin right here. And there is some stitch detailing to separate the pieces, which I love. And then this right here, it might be the same satin fabric, but there's like a black mesh netting over it that gives it a different look and texture, as you can see. We got the purple striped patchwork, this teal polka dot, the one little skullet. I think that one skullet is a very tasteful nod to Monster High. It's like just the right amount of skullet, which thank you, Monster High. She has these cool little lace sleeves that tie into her trumpet skirt, which we'll get into. And then this necklace is... I swear I saw someone say this necklace is the same necklace that Amanita and Nightshade have. So maybe, I think it might be, but very cool. The purse is okay. I'm like everyone else. Everyone else has said this, and I agree. I think it should have been her little basket, but I'm cool with the thread. It's fine. And then we have this trumpet skirt with this lace detail. It's like a spiderweb lace. I like it, and holding it, it's grown on me, the little trumpet skirt spiderweb lace. But when I first saw the design, it reminded me of like a table runner from like Home Goods that you would see. Like it was just fine. But I've seen a lot of people be like, I'm tired of the mermaid skirt. And I'm like, babes, this is a trumpet skirt. Like, it is not a mermaid silhouette. A mermaid, like a mermaid tail, would cut off around the ankle portion, right? This is above the knee. That's a trumpet skirt. So I'm fine if you don't like this silhouette, but like, it's not a mermaid. It's not a mermaid cut. It's just not. So you don't have to like it, but at least call it what it is, right? Okay. And then she also has some plastic around her arms. I'm assuming maybe so these little like black puff sleeves don't stain her body. I'm trying to see if we can see her stitches. You can see them on her neck right there. They're in a light blue versus her face is a little different, the stitching. And then the shoes, there are two different shoes. The right foot has frog's breath and the left foot has deadly nightshade, which she uses to poison Dr. Finkelstein so she can escape his lair. She's very savvy like that. The frog's breath, so she can hide the deadly nightshade. Yes, Sally, come on, girl boss your way out of there. But yeah, I love her. I think she's stunning, and I'm excited to wash her hair, cut off the headband, and get her ready to display. I think she's so pretty. She's my favorite of the two. And okay, I also got this little figure pack. If you saw my last video from Walmart, because it had a 0. Because this set does not come with a 0, which I think is ridiculous. And I was hoping the 0 would fit the scale. He's a little baby. He's a little too tiny, but I think it'll fit. Watch, I think it'll fit. I wish he would float, but I think we can make it work, right? I think we can. Jack's gonna swaddle his little baby. Come on, 0. I mean, can we talk about it? Yeah, he needed a 0. Do I think the 0 is a little tiny baby? Too small? Probably, but I'm glad I got it. I think it works, and I'm going to display it together. So, yep, now I'm going to just show off Jack's body because it's a cool mold, right? And I'll compare it to Skullector, and then we'll close this one out. Okay, we're going to take a super quick look at Jack Skellington and Skullector Calaveras' body mold because they're both skeleton creatures, and they're such cool bodies. I always love the sculpting the Monster High team does, and it is always such a shame that we can never really see all this detail because it's usually hidden behind all of their clothes. But let me take a closer look so we can compare. I know Jack's gonna get washed out, so let me refocus. There we go. Wow, okay. Skullector's definitely got more detail. And you can see Jack's kind of like more bone white, whereas Skullector's got a lot more of like the yellow shading, which makes her skeleton look a little bit more dead. I don't know, but the molds are so amazing for both. Skullector's like chest cavity, the ribs are a lot more detailed, as you can see. Like Jack's aren't carved out all the way through, but just very cool dolls, like very cool skeleton dolls. I love that they gave Jack a new body mold. Also, these dolls are like hanging on for their bare life on these stands. Like, it's a miracle. Okay, and then here is Jack's one-piece bodysuit real quick since, I took him off. It is one piece, his little coat. There's a tag inside. That's kind of cool. And then this is the piece of plastic I was talking about that was on like Jack Skellington's chest that was meant to give his body a lot of like structure and form. I'm going to just take this piece off and throw it away. So yeah, you can keep it on there if you want. I don't really want to. And now I'm just going to redress them so I can close out this video. Okay, I am back and Jack Skellington is redressed and his outfit without the little, plastic is able to now secure with the stand much better. So I'm happy about that. And overall, I'm pretty happy with them. I really like both of these dolls. I personally feel like for a 2-pack Skullector release, if you don't like both dolls, it never feels great, right? If you're buying this and you really only want one doll and not the other, you can probably sell off the other one. But it always just feels more satisfying when you really like both of the dolls. And I feel like $90 is pretty good for 2 dolls. When you do the math, $45 a doll after shipping and taxes, $50-ish versus a single Skullector release is like $65. So they could theoretically like price these around $120, $130 and be justified in it, but they don't. They gave it to us for $90. So that's pretty cool. I know for $90, some quality is compromised. I get it. I do get it. But overall, I love both of these. I'm so happy that I get to keep one in box that I can like cherish in my collection for years to come. And I think these are just really cool dolls. I'm really glad that it's not a one-to-one, recreation of their original outfits. I like that it's a reinterpretation through a Monster High lens, and I think they did a great job. The couple things I wish I could change: I wish we came with a zero. I wish Jack's bow tie had some paint. I think Sally could use some more paint details, other than the little eyes on her earrings for little cats. Her necklace, her shoes, and her headband don't have any paint details. I mean, I guess her spool of thread purses has paint details, but I just wish there was a little bit more. And I think they're pretty cool. I really like them, and I'm happy I got them. I'd be very sad if I had to buy these secondhand. I probably just wouldn't, honestly. If I didn't get them at retail, I probably would just accept that they wouldn't be in my collection. So I'm glad that they are in my collection and that I get to enjoy them. I still think it's very sad that this drop was just overshadowed by the terrible, experience a lot of collectors had. That makes me sad, and I hope in the future more collectors are the ones getting their hands on these dolls, and we can just cut out the middlemen, cut out these resellers, and have more people enjoy them who really want them, who are really going to appreciate and cherish them. So that's all I have for you today. Thanks for hanging out with me. This was a different, strange one, just because the nature of this release. It was a very controversial, frustrating release for some, and it's also very, I have to come at it from a certain angle, right? Because I was one of the lucky ones, so I have to acknowledge everyone's experience in this, not just mine, right? That would be very dense for me to come here and be like, everything's great and hunky-dory, when it's just not. Everything's not hunky-dory. So yes, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. My name is Eli, and this is my channel, Jack Elijah, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.